What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, showcasing the deck that was played in yesterday's replay, and that is, well, at least I'm calling it the DarkLord World deck. And essentially, it is a pseudo FTK that kind of works on the premise of not letting your opponent get anything going, not letting them even have a turn. They will be playing 100% no Yu-Gi-Oh, and it really revolves around kind of playing a DarkLord skeleton. If you look at this deck, this could actually kind of classify itself as a DarkLord deck because you are playing like 6 Dark Lords. You're running a bunch of the Dark Lord spells and traps. You are running things like Trade In and other cards like Soul Charge that Dark Lords have been known to use, but you pretty much use those as an engine to get Arcana Force the World on the field. And once you get its effect off and you get heads, then your opponent will just skip their turn and they have no chance of playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I know that term not playing Yu-Gi-Oh gets thrown around a lot. You know, when people play Floodgates, they're like, oh, I couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh, I lost. But no, I am talking about this 100% when it goes off. If you guys watched the videos yesterday, you do not get to play Yu-Gi-Oh if you are the opposing player because you don't get a turn. The second that the player with the Arcana Force ends their turn basically begins again. There is no player interaction at all. And as far as hand traps, the only ones that come to my mind that actually can stop this outside of like the super obscure ones like Herald of the Orange Light, stuff that no one plays, are pretty much like Effect Veiler and Ghost Ogre. Things like Cherries and Maxi don't stop this deck at all. They're not going to stop. They're just going to keep on going. And you actually can do like burn damage in turns where you don't get to attack because maybe you soul charge for like 3-4 monsters. You can actually do burn damage, so it really just doesn't make a difference. This deck is essentially, you can even kind of look at the makeup of the deck and it just even looks like an FTK. There are no traps, and most of the spells and traps are basically just kind of like ways that thin your deck. Cards like X-Tab are so good and they're so helpful in a deck like this where your win condition is already like, it already synergizes really well with the Dark Lords being able to bring back Superbia from Altar, and X-Tab is so good because it essentially acts as a destiny draw, and it takes any of these cards, the ones that you can only activate once per turn, it basically turns them into just a tangible resource. Like you can, if you already activated one Altar, then you can obviously use X-Tag and you can or X-Tab and you can discard another Altar from your hand, and it acts as sort of like a destiny draw. This deck does not have a lot of normal summons. In fact, the only normal summons you're going to have are things like Level Eater, which you don't necessarily have to like normal summon Level Eater to get in the graveyard. There are things like Hand Destruction. There's Foolish Burial. That's another good way. Twin Twister, obviously, if you like go second or something like that. Or maybe if you just need to get Level Eater in the graveyard desperately, you can set a card and then, you know, Twin Twister. It's a extreme measure, but it has been done before. And then you also run Royal Magical Library because it's 26 spells in this deck. Like, fuck it, why not, right? You're not really going to be normal summoning any of these cards anyways. The world is almost always brought back through Soul Charge or through Superbia's effect, so you're really not ever going to be using a normal summon. And it's just a whole bunch of like draw support in here. You see basically all of the draw cards have been maxed out. If Upstart Goblin was at 3, it would be at 3. If we had Chicken Game legal in the TCG, that would be at 3. But things like Into the Void works really well in this deck because if you don't win on your first turn, you're not gonna win. You know what I mean? Cards like Pot of Desires, which is another reason why this deck can be kind of feasible because all your important cards, like you shouldn't, like I don't see any scenario where you activate like Desires and you banish all 3 copies of your world. Like that's probably just not gonna happen. Or you banish like all 3 copies of your Altar plus like your Soul Charge. Like, yeah, you'll probably lose those duels. But things like Trade In, things like Into the Void, you know, they're pretty much all maxed out. Hand Destruction isn't maxed out because this card can actually lose you advantage. It's not like a plus under any circumstance. It's just a card to pretty much dig through your deck. Now, as far as the extra deck goes, guys, you pretty much can put whatever the fuck you want in here. I know some of you guys are like, well, you do run some level 5s with Thunder Dragons. Why not put Palladium? Is like, it's just not, like, it's not ever going to be relevant. You know what I mean? Honestly, the only relevant card in this entire extra deck is really Gustav Max because of the 2000 burn damage. It just helps you potentially skip a turn when you can't attack, just doing a little bit of burn damage using a couple of copies of X-Tab. But for the most part, you can just put whatever in here. If you like Lunar Lights or you like Gem Knights or Shadows or something, just put whatever the fuck you want in here. And the good thing about this deck is it is 100% TCG legal. So if you guys feel like trolling, and considering I had all those comments saying, hey Cap, I want to see the deck profile, you guys must have some trolling in you, just a little bit. Feel free to play this shit at YCS Anaheim and completely piss somebody off, because if somebody got this combo off on me, and they were pointing at me and laughing, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd just be like, holy shit, good job, man. You know, I'd just be impressed, because when sometimes you get these combos that are so obscure and it's like, wow, that actually works. And then sometimes the deck building process is impressive. You have to remember that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game where we have not over 9,000. I know the whole meme and whatnot, but we have over 9,000 cards. So stuff like this is bound to pop up. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Test the deck out if you want. As far as I can tell, well, actually, outside of these 3 cards, I was gonna say the deck isn't that expensive, although I haven't actually looked at the price of the DarkLord cards. I don't think they're, like, I don't think Ixtab is that expensive. And then actually, no, you know what, just scratch that, because Into the Void is like a $20 card because it hasn't been reprinted in forever. And lastly, before I finish this, there were a lot of people, like, I guess I don't know what these references are, because these are what the replays were called. Is it Warudo? Like, I don't know how to pronounce this stuff, or Rai. I think these are references to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I'm not sure. I think it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because the people on my live stream, which, by the way, Zio is he comes to my live stream all the time. My live stream is super big into JoJo, and I haven't watched the anime yet. And just I guess shout outs to all the JoJo fans. I'm pretty sure these are JoJo references. So if you guys enjoyed the video, once again, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already.